Hello, this is your old buddy Reverend Bill, and it's a little later than I usually do my videos. Sunday, I had to watch the football games, and yeah, had a few other things to do. I was reading a book, but that's kind of what I think I'm going to do my podcast on today. But it's probably about it's almost 11. Wow, it's pretty late here. Anyway, I told you that I was not going to try to be too preachy about my religion, and but occasionally they might actually cross. And I think this is one of those instances, just because the book I was reading um, was so powerful. When I was in high school, there was a book that if you haven't read it, I would highly recommend it. It's called *A Man's Search for Meaning*, and I want to say the man's name was Viktor Frankl, but this is, I don't know, 40 years ago. I'm giving my age away here. Um, but it was about a man who was in the concentration camps during World War II. He was a Jew, and it was very interesting how he survived, um, and it was very enlightening. Uh, and in that vein, there's a book that I was reading, and it's called "Delivered from Deep Darkness." Now I know there's probably some of you who probably don't believe in God or the devil or any of that, and I'm not here to preach or get on a soapbox to try to change your mind, but you can't read this book without working on the premise that it exists. So you guys can bear with me if you're non-believers. Treat it like you're watching a horror movie. I mean, because if you don't believe, you don't believe. I mean, I have seen things. I've seen possessions. I've seen evil. I've seen black magic. I've seen pretty much all of it. So I mean, I have. I'm not. I think I mentioned in my last video. I'm not working off faith. I used to, but I have actually seen things with my own eyes. Um, so I know what's going on. But that doesn't mean that I'm here to try to convince you otherwise. I mean, far be it. This is supposed to be, kind of a fun thing, not a lecture. But I do want to just go over this book because it's very, very interesting. Um, it's basically about a man who is a lost soul. His mother wanted a son because the father, uh, they came from Uganda, and I know a lot of Ugandans actually. I'm not sure if I've mentioned this before, but I'm very close with a lot of Africans. So again, I mean, Africa, Jamaica, they're pretty much this, center of black magic. So I'm kind of familiar with it from that angle also. But anyway, getting away from that, the mother wanted a son. The father really wanted a son. So the mother wanted to do it to make the father happy. Um, she had, I think, five or six daughters in a row, and I think nowadays we know through science that really it's the husband that really decides to sex the child. That's why Henry VIII had a hard time. He kept killing his wives because he thought they were the problem. There was no problem, by the way. Birth, a baby is always a gift from God. But I mean, he wanted a boy, and he was getting girls, so he killed them. But now I think science will tell you that the sex of the baby is reliant from the DNA of the man, not the woman. But anyway, regardless, we're getting a little off the track here. So she was so desperate because she thought she was going to lose her husband that she went to a local a witch, and they do have witches in villages in Africa, and they have priests that actually work against the wizards and witches. There's definitely a good versus evil vibe in those countries. Um, anyway, this witch said that she would give her a son. Um, Under the condition, very strange condition, that when the baby is born, there would be a wedding ceremony between her and the infant. And the mother, I get the impression the mother wasn't the sharpest knife in the draw. She figured, well, whatever. So she agreed. And sure enough, she gave birth to a boy, and she wrapped it up and she took it to the witch as promised. And there was a big ceremony, and the witch married the baby. And what it really did is it brought the baby into the Satan's realm. He became instantly Satan's property because he married a witch. Um, and I'm not going to, go into too much detail about it, but essentially, he ended up, even at a very very young age, just being born, falling into a very high rank among Satan and his regime. Uh, as he got older, the village became very nervous. They realized he wasn't normal. He got a reputation of being, a wizard. When he say witch and wizards, that exactly is what they're called. But I want to be very, very clear here. We're not talking about Broomhilda or Harry Potter. Um, they call them witches and wizards, but what they really are Satanists with black magic, and there's nothing cute and funny about them. They're soulless. Um, so, but that's what they are called. I thought it was really weird that we called the wizards and witches, but that is what they do. That is the African culture. And I think it's Jamaican culture as well, by the way. If you're a woman, you're a witch. If you're into Satanism and you're a man, you're a wizard. I think occasionally they call them sorcerers, but pretty much wizards. Um, so anyway, the village kind of shunned the family, and the father got really nervous. He got scared of the boy, and he ended up grabbing his daughters and taking off and leaving them there, the mother and the son. So um, I'm not going to go into too much more detail, but the mother and the son were left there. She was quite aware that he was evil. He was quite aware that he was evil. He was at the age of 4. He was slamming back whiskey at night to get some sleep. He was. There was nothing childish about him or childlike about him. Uh, at the age of 6, he was running a territory for Satan, where he had to go and he had to do whatever they have to do to clear the territories out. It's kind of like the mafia. It is very, very similar to the mafia. He was given territory, and that meant that he had to take it over from the previous boss and get rid of the how do I put this? The henchmen, one way or another. They had to go. He had to bring his own people in. So that was pretty weird at the age of 6, and he just got higher in rank the older he got. But he became very very high up in the ranks of Satan. Um, trying to think what else without giving away too much. Um, but anyway, the gist of it was um, he did actually get salvation. And that's pretty much what the book's about. He's now one of the foremost religious he born again, obviously, anti-Satan fighters, and he does a lot of YouTube videos. His name's, and I know I'm going to butcher this. I'm sorry. Let me show you the book, by the way. Then I actually got a little bit of picture of it. I can share you. Okay, hold on. Screen. Where are you? There we go. All right. Yeah. So I'll put myself back up there so you can see me too. I don't know why you'd want me to. here. Oh, I didn't actually. Let me just see that. I guess I didn't put it there. Anyway, well, it's rev.billryan@gmail.com. And next time I'll do a video, I'll make sure it's up there. All right, guys. Hey, have a great Sunday evening, and I'll probably talk to you again tomorrow. Thanks. Bye.